listening to the Beer Craft Homebrewing Podcast. Tune in every Wednesday night at 6:30 Pacific for a dose of beer and brewing banter with your hosts, Ben Holm and Andrew Ziegler.
So hop aboard for a little wit and wisdom in the Pacific Northwest, because it's always beer 30 on the Beer Craft.
Before Mexican lager, before Corona, before Tecate, Mexico had another national drink, Pulque, a thick, milky, slightly funky fermented agave beverage. And in the early 1900s, beer companies basically destroyed it with one of the first successful fake news campaigns in alcohol history.
Wait a minute. Fake news in beer?
Oh, yeah. Rumor was that Pulque brewers used, let's just say, some unsanitary fermentation accelerators.
You're telling me Mexican lager exists because of a smear campaign?
Partly.
Okay.
But the real story is way bigger. We're talking Aztec gods, agave farmers, Austrian brewers, railroad expansion, and a couple of massive beer companies.
So today, we're answering a few questions. What exactly is Pulque?
Why was it once the most popular drink in Mexico?
And how did a sacred agave drink get replaced by Vienna beer?
And maybe the most important question for our listeners, what actually makes a Mexican lager a Mexican lager?
And is it really just a pale lager with a lime in it?
Spoiler, no, it isn't.
Today we're going from the Aztec temples to industry breweries.
And we're going to figure out how we ended up with one of the most drinkable beer styles on earth. Today, we're telling two stories. The fall of Pulque.
And the rise of Mexican lager.
But before we can do that, this bucket of beer is not going to drink itself.
Oh, no, it's time for a little thing we like to call
Beer 30. Andrew, how the heck
All
are
right,
you?
Ben. I am great. How about you?
It's good. It is nice to be back into the studio. It has been a hot minute, hasn't it?
It has.
I know.
had withdrawals.
I kind of disappeared. I ran away to Mexico for a couple of weeks. And,
did you bring back some Mexican lager we're drinking or what?
Well, this was in your fridge.
Oh yeah,
but I'm
that's
awfully
Here,
glad you
cheers.
did. Cheers. This is a
Modelo.
Modelo's Winterfest or winter beer. Noche
Christmas
Especial.
beer.
Their Christmas beer.
Yes.
Noche Especial.
Noche Especial. Very good beer. It's a
delicious.
Nice amber kind
Yeah,
of.
it's a gorgeous,
a little darker than an amber.
Really gorgeous, like ruby
And a
garnet
ruby-ish, yeah.
kind of hue to it. I
Yummy,
really like it.
It's a little sweeter on the tongue to this. It's it seems a little bit thicker to me, like
it's got a
viscous,
heavier malt presence. Yeah,
like it was fermented higher temps.
right, or
Just a little bit
higher mash temp.
Yeah, higher mash temp rather than regular lagers.
Yeah, this kind of the body and mouth feel kind of like it's up there with some like porters I can name.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, it's definitely a full, a little full body, but it finishes really dry. I mean, it does have like a sweet malty notes, kind of like I scream about like malt in Oktoberfest, and
Right,
like I want it. It's kind of right in there.
I had a
crispy
guy,
finish on it too.
I had a guy in Mexico inform me about this beer. He's
Yeah?
like, dude, when you see this red beer,
Get it.
get it.
Yeah, where'd you find it?
Gone. Amazing enough, I found it in the reduced section at Fred Meyer.
What?
Cases of it.
What?
Yeah, I bought a case.
Yeah, no shit.
I was
dude.
like, I know some Mexican guy's gonna come by,
Yeah.
and he's gonna see it. He'd be so excited because I couldn't buy them all.
Oh,
I had
man.
I had to let somebody else enjoy it too.
Jeez. It's
But I
really
got a
goddamn
case of
good
it.
beer, yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. This is getting down to the last of it now.
Yeah, Modelo Noche Especial with a red and gold label. So probably
The Christmas
y'all are
beer.
fucked for this year, but
Yep.
maybe
look for it
next year. Look for it next year. Yeah,
Definitely look for it.
yeah. Oh man, that's really freaking
Fantastic.
tasty. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what have you been up to, man? You've been sitting here in the cold and the
Yep.
drizzle and the wet.
Yeah. No. Yeah. The house is still warm inside.
Well, that's good. You did get that furnace
I did.
thing
Got it all
figured out.
Yeah. Got it all
That's
worked
good.
out.
Yeah.
And I haven't been doing anything. Just
Just work.
just work, and did a couple of the episodes along the way.
Oh yeah, did
Keep myself a little
some
bit
edits.
busy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, on that note, we have, we've had sort of an interesting release schedule with, travel and the like.
Oh yeah, you've been gone.
Yeah, so, we started off trying to record every single week and we've been doing good at that for most of our run. for the time for a little bit of time, actually, we're probably going to have to go to an every other week recording schedule. You guys are hearing this first as well, but I just have a lot of things on my plate I really need to attend to. So,
all right, we're gonna do that, and then
we're gonna make them awesome shows.
No, I'm gonna have to hold one on my own.
Do something cool.
Yeah, we'll have a special shows.
Oh yeah,
ready to roll.
There you go. So
I'll have some special guests in here. We'll make it a special guest.
I think
show.
it'll give me a little bit more time to come make a really good show for everybody. And but
you
I
need
just gotta,
2 weeks to write 1 hour.
Feels like it some days. It definitely feels that way.
Well, if it takes
days,
me 2 hours to do 1 4-minute beer news,
right? Yeah, that's good. That's definitely a function of what we do here. Like y'all get the cool hour. We dribble on it for more than that. How about that?
A little bit. So
bit,
you're willing to go down in numbers.
Well, I do have. I have a lot of things I have to do.
Sounds to me like you're a busy man.
I'm a busy human, and one of the things I did take up. I'm going to be the CEO for beer stock for the Washington Homebrewers Alliance or Collective. Is it Alliance or Collective? I can't remember. To see the beer stock
keeps happening,
keeps
again.
keeps going.
Good.
So I'll be doing a bit more of
I really hope
really
we get
involved
a beer
in
stock
that
up north.
Yeah. I think that's still on the table, but it's not for this year.
I mean, why don't we even consider a beer stock out east?
And that was part of the original goals
Washington
too.
State.
That was one of the original goals too. Was have a road, a north, a south, and an east location that we can kind of rotate and celebrate all of Washington, and
I think
get
cool.
as many people as we can, and make
Good,
it worth.
Glad you're aboard.
So, those are going to be things I got to do. Plus, I got to deal. I got work. I got the shop. I got to make that work. And, be cool. So, gonna have to do that at least for the time being. But we're gonna have half as many, but twice as good episodes. How about
there? We
that?
Go.
How about
you're gonna give me time to work on some other podcasts then, huh?
Yeah, I know there are some interested parties who want to come into the studio, and that'll keep you in it for sure.
Keep me busy.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I need something to do. It's what I do. This is what I do.
It's my downtime activity.
Yeah, me and Kim will do one.
There you go. It's a lot of fun. I like it.
Oh, hell yeah.
God damn, that's a good beer. Holy hell.
It is a good beer.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like I said, we did come back from Mexico. Unfortunately, I couldn't bring too much of the sun with me.
So what'd you do down there?
Didn't fit in as little as possible. How about that?
Did you get off the campus?
We did. We were staying in a resort, and we got out of there 2 or 3 times.
Excursions.
And we just went downtown. One of them we just let's go see what we can see, and fart around, see what we can do. Yeah, we went down to Los Cabos. On previous trips, I've gone up to San Jose del Cabo, which is just north of where we were staying. But this time we focused on the southern end, the Los Cabos, and we took a boat cruise the first night we were in town, a dinner cruise, and so we got to see of course went out to the Arch and did all that, had dinner on the boat, and there was dancing on, it was a double-decker kind of party barge, and that was kind of fun. Very fun. Very choppy. It made me a better it was hard to stand up, but it made me a better dancer. How about that?
You look like you were dancing.
Yeah. Exactly. It was falling gracefully.
Yes.
And not landing. How about that?
It was a lot of fun. This was
on
how much tequila?
All of it.
Nice.
Yeah. So there was a guy.
Because they call them tequila cruises, right?
Pretty much.
You said cruise. You said some kind of cruise.
It was a dinner cruise, and there was a gentleman there by the name of Pancho Guacamole. And he was pimping Don Julio 1942 Reserva.
Did he have
and also
it's called Doble Cananas?
Yes, he did. Yeah, a bandolier of shot glasses.
Yep.
I was like, can you get those in 12-ounce sizes? We can make anything you want. I'm like, okay, buddy. But he was pimping Don Julio, Cristalino, and Reserva for $10 a shot, and if you buy 2 of those, he's going to throw in the third for you.
There you go.
They're really good tequilas. I love them. I think Cristalino, duty free pricing, you're still looking at a $60 bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Duty
probably
free.
more than that.
Yeah,
Duty free.
Yeah.
Well, it's probably going to cost you more than $60. I mean, plus taxes.
Taxes. Just taxes here in the state are going to get you too.
Yeah,
so.
it'll be $80, $90
Yeah.
Cristalina. Yeah.
And it's really a nice little sipping tequila. Like I've had it in a champagne flute over ice is a really tasty. Like it's nice, chilled.
Wow, you're fancy.
Yeah.
Living it up down in
And so
Mexico.
we were like, I was feeling bad because I had to knock these fucking really tasty shots of tequila down way too quickly.
I haven't had tequila in a while.
Oh my god, I had so much tequila.
I'm looking forward to having tequila.
Oh my god,
I need some tequila.
Yeah, we did some cool. There's a lot of. We like to go find some premium tequilas, and there's 1,000 little different tequila tasting
Everywhere.
rooms and stuff, and like every little tchotchke tourist trap market will like have free tequila tastings, and a lot of those those little like the chocolate liqueur tequila ones. Those are chocolate almond. Those are pretty tasty. Like,
Oh man,
we usually end up with a bottle of that.
Used to go down into like the little art craft like centers, down in the middle of the city, and everybody has their little booth, and they use that to try to lure you into their booth,
right?
And sell
The
you
tequila
stuff.
tasting.
Hey, come and have this free tequila. Come on, it's chocolate liqueur tequila or something.
Some of those are really good.
Some of them are good, and some of them are you're like,
what
is
the
this?
frick is that? Yeah, like it's
make their
like
own
straight up
concoction.
sugar. Yeah. Oh yeah.
I've had tequila with a rattlesnake in it.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, sitting on the bar, rattlesnake head in it.
I was drinking some tequila with the grasshopper chasers, the little fried grasshoppers.
Yeah.
Well, those are fucking.
Wait a minute.
They're
Grasshoppers
delicious.
Are crickets. They're crickets.
They're big. They're grasshoppers.
Big?
Yeah.
Oh, they're big grasshoppers.
Yeah, they're grasshoppers.
Okay.
Man. They're like,
I'm used to the
oh,
crickets.
yeah, crickets are good too.
No, they're not good.
They can be. So I've had some cricket tacos.
It tastes like
and they're
what
like
you coat them with.
Yeah, they're excellent flavor delivery system. Some of the the first cricket taco I had, it kind of tasted like, it was a taco made with wet hay. How about that? It tastes like wet straw. But the cricket or the big grasshoppers, like in the fried grasshoppers, that's pretty damn tasty. They pull the big legs off and the wings off. Very crunchy. I actually got my granddaughter to eat one. I said, it's really salty. You'll like it. She's like, nom, 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 nom. And then I told her it was a grasshopper, and she was kind of like chewing it slowly and glaring at me the whole time. I haven't checked all of my shoes. I'm sure there's probably like sharp objects shoved into those. So I should probably check those before jumping my feet in there. But we had a lot of fun. There's
Grasshoppers. It's going to be grasshoppers in your
grasshoppers
shoes.
in my shoes. Yeah. Cook these ones, Papa.
Teach you.
Yeah. She looked like she was enjoying it, and then she heard the word grasshopper and that's about the time my grandson, like, he noticed it was a bug. He's like, ah! Doug had to dig that one out of the couch cushions. As he freaked out.
Did you bring back some candy for him, though?
We did. We brought some candy.
Yeah.
And like Emerson, my granddaughter, she also is salt obsessed, so we got her worm salt. She can't read yet. So
Worm salt?
Yeah,
Tell
from
me
the
about
tequila
this.
worm.
Oh, okay. Got it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and that stuff's really good, too. It's got like a smoky mezcal kind of thing
Mezcal
going on.
salt, yeah.
It's good stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's the kind you put on you lick and
Or you just like
sprinkle on your hand, and
or
then
you
you do
just
a
lick
shot.
it. You just wet your finger and lick it, and that works pretty good too. I don't do a lot of the.
Wet your finger and lick it.
I don't do a lot of the
Wouldn't it be
the
lick your finger
tequila
to wet
shot
it?
kind of thing. But sipping on the tequila, having a little bit of salt, or there was some mezcal we were drinking with a roasted pineapple slice. Fucking fantastic. Another one was like with the actual like cooked agave pulp, like a very kind of wood pulp, but you'd suck on it and it would like, oh, there's the sugar. You can taste that, like,
Right.
oh man, that's really, and that would be that's the agave syrup in there, and I was, oh goddamn, that's really good. There was one that paired beautifully. It was a little cherry tomatoes. I was not expecting, a little mezcal with a cherry tomato that was eye opening. And I don't even like tomatoes. I would eat all of them as long as there was enough mezcal.
What color were they? Just the regular orange?
Deep red,
yeah.
A little cherry tomato that was sickening, like really sweet, low acid varietal. The acids of tomatoes is what usually gets me.
There you go. Yeah.
But the sweetness was all up front with the mezcal still in my mouth. So I'm like, I'm going to eat that.
Yeah, that
Give me enough
sounds good.
mezcal, I'll eat anything.
Does this place make those or raise those tomatoes or what?
We got to do, and here's a teaser. We did this little, it was called the Agave Elite Experience in Cabo, and it was an absolutely fantastic tasting. I think we tasted on the order of 9 different tequilas from Blanco to Extra Añejo, and then another 9 different mezcals from,
Oh, there's so many different
8
mezcals.
different, like 9 different, or 3 or 4 different agave varietals,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like, oh my god,
Because you know that tequila is only made in tequila, right?
yeah, in Jalisco, and
And mezcal is made everywhere.
everywhere else, with 30.
But tequila's like really regimented on how they can make it. So it is tequila, because there's a lot of different varietals of mezcal.
Yep.
So it's smoky, different flavors.
Oh, it was fantastic.
Super good.
Fantastic. We had one like finished like rose petals. That was, goddamn, that was good. So I got to meet Rosemary at the Agave Experience. We're going to have her on the show here in a couple weeks.
We're tequila show.
We're going to have a whole tequila show.
Oh, my.
It is in production as we
knew
speak.
tequila was coming.
Yeah.
I can taste it now.
I'll bring some of my collection up that day to the studio.
Okay, how many shots we doing right away?
Yes.
Yeah. It's going to be crazy. I'm going to be like, I don't even know how to operate the mouse anymore.
You won't have to. We'll just mash the record button and worry
All right,
about it
so
later.
we're talking about Pulque today.
Pulque.
Yeah. So tell me, did you find some Pulque down there? Did you drink some?
I did not.
Artisanal,
And that was part of my initial goal going down to Mexico this year. Is I wanted to find some Pulque, but Cabo's not really the region for Pulque. You got to go. You got to get into the mainland.
Way
a little bit
way up there where they grow the agave.
Yeah. In the north, it would be you could get into Jalisco. You're definitely
the
gonna
agave or the what do they call it?
Maguey.
Maguey.
Yeah.
The maguey plant.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
It's the agave.
if we are really gonna crack the code tonight on and understand a Mexican lager,
We're gonna have to find some roots.
but we got to start at the beginning.
Yeah.
Mexico
has a long history too.
Start with what preceded Mexican lager.
The Aztecs.
Because before Mexico was a beer country, it was a pulque country. So stick around. We are gonna crack this one wide open right after this.
In the craft beer system, the people are served by 2 equally important groups: the brewers who make the beer and the bartenders who serve the pints. These are their stories, presented by Northwest Brewers Supply. Mazda Man's beer ran out by the end of the big game. Mazda Man knows the best way to run out of beer is by drinking it. He also knows the best way to avoid such a scenario is by shopping at Northwest Brewers Supply today.
Beer News with Andrew, where I come and give you international stories, national stories, state, maybe even your local backyard. Hey there, hopheads. What up today? Coming at you with your 5-minute pour of beer news. Today we're stirring up something ancient, something fizzy, and surprisingly modern, Pulque. We're going to talk about it today on our show. It's not your typical pint, but it may just be the oldest brew you've never tried. So grab a seat, crack your curiosity, and let's dive into this milky magic of maguey. So, what is pulque? Pulque is a traditional Mexican fermented drink made from the sap of the maguey plant, cousin of the agave. It's been brewed for over 1,000 years, long before hops ever hit the scene. It has a cloudy white appearance, tangy, yeasty flavor. Pulque sits somewhere between a sour beer, let's say, and a probiotic smoothie. It's usually low in alcohol, usually 4 to 6, getting up there. And it's often served fresh, and it's often unfiltered and sometimes flavored with fruits or spices. So is Pulque made in the U.S.? Well, you bet it is, but it's rare. A few brave breweries are reviving this ancient style stateside. Leading the charge is Dos Luces Brewery in Denver, Colorado. They specialize in Pulque and chicha. We'll talk about that too, aiming to honor the indigenous brewing traditions while introducing them to the American palates. Their pulque is made with agave nectar and fermented with traditional yeast strains, often a modern twist on a sacred drink. Now you may ask, what is chicha? Chicha is another ancient traditional beverage from Latin America with roots tracing back thousands of years, primarily in the Andes and the Amazonian regions. The name chicha likely comes from the Kuna word chichab, meaning corn. It is a broad category of drinks that can be fermented and mildly alcoholic or even non-fermented from various bases of ingredients such as corn, manioc, also known as cassava, quinoa, potatoes, and some wild fruits. Chicha has a deep cultural significance, especially among indigenous groups like the Kuna in Panama and Colombia, where it was used in rituals and ceremonies. The drink varies widely by region, with some versions being sweet, some being fruity, others being a more soured and more fermented beverage. In the Incan Empire, chicha was a sacred drink used for celebrations and religious rites, symbolizing community and tradition, kind of similar to the trace backs of pulque as well. Today, chicha continues to be enjoyed across Latin America, both in traditional forms and modern adaptations, reflecting a rich heritage of indigenous fermentation practices. Another player in this pulque revival is the Pulque Hacienda 1881, based in California, and they distribute canned pulque made from fresh maguey sap, kind of the traditional way. While they're not a tap room per se, they don't have a brewery you can visit. They're helping bring pulque into grocery store coolers and specialty bottle shops. So why does this matter? Pulque's presence in the U.S. is more than a novelty. It's a cultural bridge. As craft beer continues to explore global styles, Pulque offers a taste of pre-Columbian fermentation and a chance to rethink what beer can be. It's also a nod to sustainability using native plants and low-impact brewing. For brewers, it's a challenge and an opportunity. How do you preserve tradition while adapting to modern taste? For drinkers, it's a chance to sip history and maybe discover your new favorite. So next time you're browsing your local tap room or at your local bottle shop, keep an eye out for Pulque. It's not just a drink, it's a story in a glass. From maguey fields to modern fermenters, Pulque is bubbling back into the spotlight. That's your beer news pour for today. Stay curious, stay crafty, and as always, cheers from Andrew.
So if we're going to understand Mexican lager,
We have to start with the drink it replaced.
because before Mexico was beer country, it was pulque country. Pulque, it's an interesting one. So you're familiar with agave,
Yes,
right?
yes.
From whence tequila comes is blue agave, right?
Blue agave, yep. I know.
Yeah.
I've seen these plants
Little
around.
cactus plant looks
Yep.
like a overgrown aloe vera.
Yes.
yeah.
It's kind of similar. Same family. Overgrown is what you can say. I've seen them quite tall. I mean, 8 feet tall sometimes.
Yes, and some varietals, but they also have smaller ones. There's a variety
Small
they make a mezcal
fatties.
from. The pina is only about the size of an actual pineapple.
Yeah. Okay.
Instead of the big, you used to seeing like, oh shit, that looks like a barrel.
Like a barrel,
it's big,
yeah.
like the big root or center core.
Right.
So that it comes from agave, and long before there was tequila, there was pulque.
Okay. This dates back about what, 2,000 years?
2,000 years ago.
Probably more than that.
Yeah,
but-
we can at least say, hey, 2,000 years ago we were doing this. They can look at these kind of like the Aztec and Mayan ruins and go like, oh shit, we did something
This is
here.
where it came from.
Yeah, so
And the history is probably,
at least, yeah. So
hell
big,
knows.
it's a very central Mexico a thing, but you see kind of that iconography, that cactus plant, like the fronds of the agave plant, and a lot of iconography down there. Yep. Yeah.
Yes.
So it's got a deep, rich, history to it.
All right.
It was a religious drink.
Okay. Yeah.
And you can kind of see why. Yeah, you could kind of see why. Because if you drink it, you will see God, right? Or you will speak in tongues. And we've all been there. Right?
Wait a minute. This stuff has alcohol in it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And if you are, have never had alcohol, your first time drinking alcohol, and you drink a lot, and
I can see God.
Holy shit, you're gonna have yourself a religious experience.
Right on. All right. Well, let's compare this pulque to a couple of the other fermented drinks. Let's say like a mead.
Mead, yeah.
Honey.
Honey. It'd be similar to like your tepache in Mexico too, like a wild ferment.
It's where you ferment the pineapple.
Yeah,
some other sugars and stuff.
So So you got this agave plant, and they're gonna strip off the leaves like they're doing these days for tequila.
Well, hold on. We have to grow this. How long?
Oh, there's a whole thing. Okay,
yeah,
you're right. We should start at the beginning. Like some of these plants can take years. 20, 25, 28 years to mature. Whereas like blue agave, interesting. Blue agave is like 6 to 7 years. It's real reliable.
Not too bad.
It's a short growth, and
so it takes less space,
time.
Less time. I can rotate my crop a little easier.
Really, like with some regularity.
Right. And the blue agave
is
stuff,
is the star of the show. But blue agave, so a tequila is a mezcal. All tequilas are mezcals. Interestingly enough, but not all mezcals are tequila. Because in order to be tequila, it has to be 100% blue agave grown in tequila in the state of Jalisco.
In the state of Jalisco,
like there's two other like little neighboring towns outside of there that can grow it.
That want to glom onto the name.
They're allowed to. Part of the Tequila Federation says you can. It's okay, but blue agave only, and that's cool. But there's like 38 other species
of the same
mezcal or of agave that we can make something of it.
The mugwa.
Maguey, yeah.
I'm doing mugwa.
Yeah.
That was the Gremlins. So the maguey plant.
Yeah, so that agave cactus.
Has many different cousins that grow around the region of Mexico.
Yeah, highlands and lowlands and all over the place. Some, varying in size, varying in maturity level, varying in sugar content.
Yeah, right. Different climates where they're coming from.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah,
just like everything else we ferment.
So the ancients would harvest these mature agaves, and they would kind of carve out a section in the center of this pina. And it's called a pina because it kind of looks like a pineapple. If you knock all the leaves off, there's a little like a diamond pattern on it called a pina.
It's probably pina. Yeah? Is it a pina?
Like from pineapple.
Pina?
It's very similar. It's origin, shares an origin with pineapple. Yeah.
That's that core where they can. Yeah. Okay, keep going.
So they would carve out a section of the center of that, and they'd put a cup under there. And that cup would collect the sap, the aguamiel. Aguamiel.
Yes,
the honey water.
The good stuff.
Right, and they would ferment that.
Yeah.
And then you would drink, and if it was a ceremony, you'd drink that, you'd be drunk.
Sugar content was
see God.
Pretty big. Okay, so now, Matt, I wonder, do we have an ABV average? Is that ever mentioned in this
You're
research?
generally going to see like a 4 to 6%.
Yeah.
They're not small, they're not huge, but they're going to be effective.
About normal.
Yeah, and so like the whole drink would be like a thick, kind of cloudy white. It's going to be a slightly sour. There are going to be some probiotic qualities to it as they are mixed culture ferments.
Yes, because it's
either
all
a wild yeast, or some of the pulque would use like the mother or some of the previous batch to inoculate a new fresh batch. What I did find interesting about some of these pulques, some of the tradition, because it was a ceremonial drink, you could be a priest or maybe a warrior participating in a ceremony, or you had to be over 70 years old in order to drink pulque.
Most people didn't make it to that old.
Because public drunkenness was a problem. And so they put
punished
laws.
By death?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. If you got drunk in public,
I got
in
drunk too
ancient
soon.
Mesoamerica, like you could be executed.
I'm 69.
No, that's not good.
I'm
Right.
69.
Have you I thought that was like that's pretty severe. That's some anti
That sounds crazy.
drunk driving laws for sure. So I mentioned it was kind of like a wild ferment.
Yeah.
So interesting. We're talking about like kind of like tequila and all these other things. This pulque or this aguamiel, this sap, would eventually be distilled. Like they would learn distillation.
This is where tequila comes
and that
into
like
play.
tequila comes from way back. Some like Persians. Not Persians. I can't remember. Kind of in and around Persia. Somebody came over and they had like a copper alembic. Still like. But I think this, Spaniards advanced the distillation technology, and then the Middle Eastern influence
brought it over.
made it better, and that's kind of where like tequila goes kind of crazy at that point. But the distillation was
They
going
started
back.
distilling
They were doing that in
pulque.
the Aztec, kind of land too. They weren't, like it wasn't effective. It wasn't an efficient process. So again, it was all very, very ceremonial.
Yeah.
So pulque becomes this. This is the drink. So it becomes less and less of a religious drink after kind of like
As time goes
Spanish influence.
on, yeah.
It became more of a secular thing, and everybody
Well,
could enjoy it.
After the Spanish influence, they kind of changed the culture from the Aztec religious culture,
Right, and they shifted it
ceremonial culture.
completely.
Yeah, so this drink would have to change, and I bet it stayed in play because of probably some financial reasons, marketing reasons.
As far as like well, it was the traditional. It was the traditional
to keep
beverage.
making this stuff.
We'd been they've been making it for 2,000 years.
Now they can even make more because more people can drink it.
And that was kind of
Production can go up.
that becomes kind of part of the story too later on with its rise in popularity.
Hey, wait a minute! You were talking about some fake news.
We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to this the smear campaign.
Oh, the smear fake news. Got it,
yeah.
Oh, we're getting there. We're getting there.
So we've got the going back, we've got this the religious importance. Is a ceremonial beverage to for the goddess of fertility, which is Mayuel,
I
the
have
goddess
a problem
of fertility.
with that name.
Yeah.
Mayuel. Okay.
That's what the pronunciation says.
I
I'm
know,
just saying
I know, but I'm kind of wondering if this is a little fake news right here. Mayuel would be a male's name. So is this the god of Pulque?
Mayuel goddess says goddess in these notes right here.
Wouldn't it be Mayuela?
But
Mayuel, that's like
the
Manuel?
gendered language format of the Romance language, is that a Spanish influence and not?
Ooh, is that a Spanish influence, not
it's
an
a
Aztec?
Romance language thing, not
Got
the traditional Aztec.
Oh, so did we combine? We combined languages right here. I love that.
Well, it's interesting. The word pulque itself is probably a bastardization by the Spaniards of the Aztec word for I got it in my notes here somewhere. The word pulque, it was kind of a bastardization of, and I'm going to butcher this for sure.
Can you do it?
Where'd it go? Polioque akle, which sounds like pulque if you say it. If I said that faster.
Polioque.
Yeah, pulque. Great. Which
Pulque.
means like spoiled.
Pulque.
Spoiled.
Pulque.
Pulque. Yeah. It's gone off. Right, because it's
Akli was the original name
Spoiled Akli,
from
yeah.
Aztec language. Yeah.
So fermentation is really controlled decay, is what we're all about. So like spoiled or sour.
Spoiled
kind of those kind of
or
things. Yeah, makes sense.
Pretty shitty pulque.
Yeah. Anyway, so.
Okay.
We that took us up to what? We started talking about the Spanish influences.
Right.
What did that
Where
do?
did it come from? So the language behind it.
So some of that language, we start seeing, the Spanish language influences throughout the region. It changes the religion. It changes all the religious practices, and gives rise to, allows for pulque to start expanding into, since it's no longer just for priests and warriors and the elderly.
It's no longer ceremonial.
Anybody can have it. And it turns out everybody likes to get wow, weird. Everybody likes to be get a little buzz going on.
Right.
Like it's pretty fun.
Everybody likes to
kinda
drink a
fun.
little bit
It's kind of
sometime.
fun. It's kind of fun. We're gonna do a whole show about it. Anyways, we do, and generally gonna do some more. Everybody likes it. I've been drinking now, and I'm having a blast. So
Well, it has been every week, every other week.
yeah. So some of these families that were doing these pulques really started. Well, they got pretty good at it, and they got pretty big doing it, and they made a lot of money doing that. You know, the
Pulqueria.
the guy who makes the best beer generally does okay in the community. So some of these places, some of these pulquerias, or the places where they serve pulque, or the families that supplied the pulque, got pretty rich, like mega rich, like Elon Musk rich of the day, right? Like
They got the money from the town,
large,
all the excess money right in their pockets,
and right the whole Europeanization of Mesoamerica with Spanish influence. You know, you started seeing all sorts of other European influences as well.
Right.
Wow, some folks made a shit pot of money on this pulque.
Right.
Yeah.
So then beer comes in.
We're gonna get there too.
We're getting there.
We're getting there. We're getting.
Where are we in the old era of things? Are we in the 1600s yet?
Well, we get into sort of as we fast forward, we get into sort of like a modern like industrial kind of feel, and railroads start dotting up all over not only this the northern half of this continent, but the southern the central America as
right.
well.
This is mid 1800s.
Yeah, and that brings pulque to areas where it was prior to railroads, like Hidalgo was a big deal. Central Plateau, like central Mexico, that kind of area was like prime agave growing regions.
But they couldn't export.
Well, pulque is it's a naturally fermented beverage. It doesn't travel well. It ferments out in like 3 to 5 days. You consume it quickly. They have another batch going. Don't worry, there'll be more tomorrow, kind of thing.
Now, I'm wondering why it wouldn't last more than 5 days, 6 days, more than a week after fermentation. If it was 5 to 5% alcohol.
In this point in time, there were not great ways to
contain it
in a bottle so that you could ship it. Now a railroad made it a little bit easier. We could get it on the truck. It might still be fermenting, and it gets to its destination and it's ready for you to drink, and they can spread it a little farther wider. And somebody makes you more money.
We didn't have the packaging to control secondary fermentation or spoilage.
And the history of that packaging, like at one point during this era of mass industrialization, somebody cracks the code, and I can't remember his name. It was in one of my earlier research, like on the plane coming home. I was like, oh, this guy figured out how to package it, and it could really take it farther, and made a shit ton of money doing it.
Was he bottling it?
Yeah, he was able to package it and contain it, pasteurize, probably pasteurization, and getting it right so that it still tasted good. It didn't lose kind of. There were earlier attempts to like pasteurize the pulque, and it just kind of like lost its like, part of it was the verve of it, the funky bits that we know and love and enjoy in a lot of different beverages, from notwithstanding like kefirs and kombuchas and the non-alcoholic range, all the way to your big wacko sour beers. And we've done shows about those. Like, these things taste cool. Belgians have like crazy weird flavors.
Now,
like,
did this pulque, is it supposed to taste anything off, anything sour?
There are going to be some like sour funky elements from mixed fermentation.
I'm wondering about the flavor of this pulque.
And that's what I was trying to find when I was in Mexico. I could not find it. I will go back to Mexico.
I think it could matter. It could depend on what was added to it. Sometimes they add nopale, which is another cactus.
Yeah, it's tasty stuff.
But it makes it thicker too. The viscous, the nopale is
kind of got
inside the jelly inside.
Jelly bits, yeah.
But it's really good. You can eat that. You have that all the time.
That stuff
is
good. I really like the nopale cactus. It's every time I've had it. Like,
I think they've added carrots, maybe other roots. Probably radishes. I mean, they grow radishes like crazy in Mexico.
Yeah. So by the 1800s, pulque is like the big alcohol product. The cities, the railroads allowed the cities to be replenished with fresh pulque daily. Every day. The fucking train comes in and it's full of pulque, and there was much rejoicing.
I love that.
Catch it off the train. Now, I mentioned like the big fake news kind of thing.
Fake news.
Fake news are
coming in.
So,
what was this fake news?
So, American beer companies in the 1930s, trying to expand operations south of the border, create a marketplace where there wasn't one. And there was beer. There was some like German immigration. There was a lot of there was immigration from like Lebanon gives us El Paso tacos.
Spanish
the Spaniards, the Persian, like
then
all these
everybody else
things.
came after that.
There were Germans like trying to make beers and trying to make kind of beers that would work, but they hadn't really like gained a lot of traction because pulque was just like everybody drinks this. It's got the history behind it for the culture. Everybody loves it.
Well, getting grain in central Mexico.
That's a different animal. Yeah.
Yep.
So the 30s, some of these beer companies, they start a campaign, and they start bashing on pulque.
On pulque,
they were poking at
this
like
is familiar
mixed
to me.
fermentation. They were poking at it's going to make people sick because there's unhygienic. Whereas beer is very
not pasteurized,
beer's pure and clean and so European. Right? And
Filtered.
like they're probably start talking about some
cold.
like Reinheitsgebot bullshit. As far as like purity crapola, water tax bills and fucking
it sounds like the
So,
Reinheitsgebot man has held you down before.
one of the really, we haven't made that joke for a while. One of the really telling propaganda campaigns was they were claiming that pulque producers were using cow and horse manure in the ferment to accelerate fermentation.
No way.
It's funny because funny to say that because then we just had that. There's bear poop in a beer.
Bear poop. Right.
In the modern,
now,
2 weeks ago, kind of we talked about this.
Well, this is kind of on the same line as the rogue yeast.
Beard beer, right? Yeah.
I mean, like, what? Okay, so we're getting back to the livestock.
So they start making these fantastical claims.
Road apples in the pulque.
In the pulque.
Is this to filter it out, or
and
what?
it was so much more than the proverbial load of shit. I mean, it was an outright lie.
Wait a minute.
No.
Are you sure this was a lie, or was this some type of propaganda used against them? Maybe some experiment that happened.
It was a propaganda. It was definitely used against them.
I did see
in my there was kind of like that's a different animal.
But if fake news came and said all beer is made,
there's a possibility that
yeast.
there's a possibility the origin story of this to accelerate fermentation was actually something that tequila manufacturers have been toying with.
Oh man!
But beer was not going to take on tequila.
Really got it wrong.
So it really
some
did.
Weird story come up, and they used it to
and they used it really, really well.
And it really hurt them. Huh?
You combine that with Mexico gets a revolution in the 1800s.
Here we go, modern day American beer companies giving us a load of crap again.
That's right. Ruin it for the little guy. But you also combine that with like a big revolution and some of these like big tequila or pulque haciendas, the big mansions and estates were seized. And their properties were seized and their monies were seized, and they're pretty much shut down. So right about there, like right then, beer's got a foothold now. We've wiped out the competition. The state has cleared out production space for new breweries to come in and operate,
and now the void needs filled.
Beer becomes the thing in Mexico. So we talked about like some European immigration into their German and Austrian brewers, some big names, Santiago Graf, and founded like the first industrial breweries in Mexico. Cerveceria Cuauhtémoc comes a big one. It's in like Monterrey or somewhere like that, and they start making beers, and the beers they started making were sort of like Vienna, based around, it was like a Vienna lager. They were doing some adaptation for local ingredients, like you would do, like we talked about, when the steam beer came all the way to San Francisco. A beer came to San Francisco, needed to be adapted to the climate, adapted to local ingredients that you get a hold of.
That's right.
I mean, nobody wants to, have to truck in all of their ingredients for 100% of the production from, 3,000 miles away. That's going to be expensive. You can get it 200 miles away. You're going to save money. Or you can get something you can work with 200 miles away.
Yeah.
Just make that. Use that. Do that.
Yeah, just increases the cost.
Yeah. So the lagering, process, like being able to like keep this beer cold for a long time, and it stores really well. We kind of figured that out. That lagers tend to, they hang out. Not like so many IPAs you have to drink fresh before they deteriorate.
Right.
It's a shorter list of beers that can.
Not like
hang
Mexico
on.
had ice caves,
They didn't.
so they had to wait for
Get ice
refrigeration.
machines,
no?
though. Start making like ice machines and shit.
Well,
It's like industrialization
they had to,
of,
they had to
of
wait
everything.
for the Industrial Revolution.
And it did. And it beer became it was easier to package. Like we had figured that part out already. We could keep it viable in a bottle or sealed up or a transportation vessel.
We could ship
We've
it.
kind of figured that shit out. Pulque never had, like rarely if ever had that. Like there was like a brief instance right before the revolution.
Right. It didn't have that
somebody
chance.
figured that out.
Yep.
But you couldn't match in terms of scale production. You could not beat beer. Pulque never had a chance on that front. Like
No.
we can crank out beer. We don't have to.
Well, beer lasts longer too.
Beer lasts.
So the shelf life
Yeah, but also
really
the
makes a
plant from
difference.
whence it's made grows back every year.
Every year,
Whereas
right.
you got a
Rather
fresh
than every
pack crop
14
every year
years.
or 6 years or fucking bullshit. 20
Yep.
years you have to wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of a problem.
That's a big problem in your supply
Yeah.
chain. I mean, you have to have huge farms to supply your cactus, your agave, where you could have a farm, 10% of that with wheat,
Right.
or
It grows
barley.
back every year. Beer lasts longer in a bottle. Pulque was kind of like a 3 to 5 day, and like because it keeps fermenting and it changes
go
and like
bad.
it goes interesting.
Especially if you can't package it.
Yeah.
If we're just holding it in a non-sealed container, it's gonna be affected. I mean, the same thing happens to your homebrew. If you don't seal your homebrew, if you just put your homebrew in a milk jug and put the plastic cap on it,
Or a rubber
leave-
stopper.
or leave it in the refrigerator for a week, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna sour.
Not gonna be great. So the Mexican lager, what would they be drinking? So here it is for you homebrewers out there. Your characteristics for a Mexi lager. This one would, this is kind of
Lime.
what would become. Need more lime. Yeah. Base malt is going to be a Pilsner malt.
Pills.
Yep.
Wow. So we're talking like German roots here.
Sure.
All
German,
right.
Austrian.
Hey, I start with that. Good.
The Vienna lager is kind of the framework.
Kind of that
that
thing
it gets-
that
yeah, and there's-
they love the Vienna lagers, and they came over here and what's
I love
his name?
Vienna lager.
What's his name? I
Back in the notes there,
lost me.
Santiago Graf. Yep.
Yep. Brought over his favorite Vienna lager
Right.
recipe, and bam.
So of course they're going to use some local corn, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's and in this one's like, so yes, a lot of producers are using corn these days. It is not 100%. You can't accurately say like every Mexican lager used a lot of corn. You can't say that. A lot
That's
of them, so like
kind of-
Pilsner malt,
right, but
based
that was-
around Vienna, would not have had corn.
That's been like the precursor of, hey, what is a Mexican lager? Oh, I'm going to put corn in it. Now I can kind of identify that corn. Oh, that's
Where
a
it's like
Mexican
putting
lager.
pineapple and calling it Hawaiian. Like it
Kinda
has,
like that.
It
Kinda.
doesn't exactly work either.
It doesn't, but I mean that was kind of one
Yeah.
of the monikers you would get when you made a Mexican lager. Oh, you need to add such, how much corn to it.
And I do in mine too, so I can't say
You do.
I,
See.
I
Yeah.
I want a little corn. I like what corn does in my cream ales, blondes, and lighter lagers. I like, I like the
A little flavor.
the
right?
extra ABV from being mostly fermentable sugars.
Yeah.
A little bit of that corn kind of sweet edge that is kind of nice. It lightens my beer without, I don't have a lot of extra weight to it. Like some days, like I love malt and I love heavy hitting malt beers. But when I'm this close to the Tropic of Cancer,
right,
I want something there. I want something.
I got this.
I want something lighter, man.
I got cracked corn out in my chicken coop, right?
Yeah.
I feed my chickens every week, every day. A scoop of cracked corn. I'm throwing that in my mash.
Well, corn's a different one. Like corn amylase can't work on raw corn. Corn has to be cooked or gelatinized.
Okay. So I'm gonna buy flaked corn from you.
Flaked corn for me is pre-gelatinized,
Yep.
so it's mash ready.
All right.
That's
what I'm after.
and then you're buying an hour of your life back. With corn, if you're buying raw corn, you're cooking it north of 170 degrees for an hour to gelatinize the starches. Not unlike, if you're cooking oatmeal, you're cooking flaked rolled oats, non-instant ones forever, and all of a sudden they go bleh, and they kind of puke and they bust up and it's milky and it's thick. That's the gel phase of oats. Corn just takes longer, right? You got a big hard carapace around it, that shell that's undigestible. You got to cook the crap out of it. Once you've gelatinized your corn, you got to cool it down to mash temperatures, and then amylase enzyme from barley can break
Now
it
they
down.
can ferment it.
You can do that. You can break it down.
I'm just gonna come by and buy flake corn from you.
Right, just telling you about it. It's
okay,
worth,
goes in my recipe.
Not worth
Perfect.
$2.
Excellent.
$2 a pound savings right
love
there.
it.
Yeah.
I love
So build it around a Vienna lager with Pilsner malt. You're looking for light malt sweetness. You want crisp finishing.
You want that crispy.
Just enough bitterness to balance it all out. So they're not hot bombs.
No, I don't think they're very bitter at all. I think they're more on the sweeter side.
IBU kind of range is like 18 to 25. ABV is 4.2 to 5.5 is a good range for their. You're designing a beer you can drink a lot of in the sun.
Right. If you're going for a Corona, that's a whole different animal, though.
Right. And don't. I'm not a huge Corona fan. Although I was talking to a guy in Mexico, and he's like, "Yeah, well, if you go there and you go to the plant, it's a very drinking fresh Corona
It's like drinking fresh Budweiser.
is probably a magical little experience."
The best Budweiser I ever had was at their brewery in St. Louis, and on the tour, at the end of the tour, you get all the Bud you want. And I'm like, well, this ain't Budweiser.
This is good. What happened?
Yeah. What happened after it left this place?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Corona,
so kind of the same thing.
Corona with its clear glass is a light struck, skunky beer. You need the lime just to cut through that.
That's right. That's what I like.
I am so thankful that Pacifico started bottling in brown glass.
Yeah.
That's a good beer. I like Pacifico in a brown glass or can.
And you had Bohemian.
I had Bohemian. Oh my God! Yeah, I did.
Good? That's
that
a good
was
one.
really good.
That's a German lager.
Yep.
Yep.
I was drinking that, and I was drinking. There was Tecate in my.
Tecate red or blue?
Both in my
Both?
mini bar. Yeah, the light and they were both good.
The light's like what, 3.2 or
Yeah.
something?
It was a little, and there were those little itty bitty 180 mil glasses,
Cans?
the little 180 mil
glasses.
bottles,
Yeah. The cute little
ones.
bottles.
Yeah,
Those are
so
cool.
2 of those is a serving. But I'm actually I kind of understand the little bottle. Like when it's 80, 90 or 80 or above, by the time you get to the bottom of 180 mils,
Right, it's gone.
it's
and
warm.
It's warm. Yep.
Right, it's warmed up. So drink 180 mils at a time and go get a fresh one out of the cooler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they? Is your mini fridge always restocked for free?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like
Yeah,
all
it's
inclusive.
like,
It's whatever you. I mean, do you have 2 mini fridges?
I wish I did because I
Drink them all during the day.
tried to eat so much I couldn't eat dessert. We tried to take out of our room, but then we're too full to eat dessert and try to stash it in the mini bar. Well, it's full of fucking beer, so drink some more beer, and then you're definitely too full for dessert. And
Oh, yeah.
fuck it, they fill it up in the morning.
And drink
Yeah.
water. Just drink
Oh,
after
God,
after
all
that.
water.
You drink water so you can get more room.
I'm
'cause
a
digestion.
little dehydrated after my trip.
Yeah. I always need to drink water.
So if you're looking for a Mexi lager, we actually built one here on the show.
You got it?
You can
Oh,
you
that's
can go
right.
listen to that show. One of the on-air beer designs. I think it was episode 3 in that 5-part series. That should have been 4 parts, but we forgot one.
8 weeks.
Yeah.
9 weeks ago.
Yeah. So it's a on-air beer design. There's part 1 through 5.
That's right.
Go check that out. One of those. It's we named the beer. It's called Padilla. That's its name.
Padilla.
It's called Padilla.
Padilla.
And it's spelled out like you could say it. And around here, for those
That's
of you
a last name, I think.
well, Padilla Bay.
Yeah.
And it's got a picture of like the bay
Padilla
on there.
Bay. Okay.
So Padilla Bay, Padilla, is one of the most common mispronounced words in Washington State. So the locals are always like, it's pronounced Padilla. So that's what we call our Mexi Lager called. It's pronounced Padilla Mexi Lager at Northwest Brewers.
Is it with two L's? Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's Padilla.
Padilla.
Like tortilla?
Yeah. Like tortilla. Yeah.
Not like Amarillo.
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 Yeah, Amarillo.
Amarillo.
See?
That is the color yellow in Espanol.
Is too.
But Amarillo
you can get
is
one,
a city
you
in
can get
Texas.
that beer at the shop right now. We're pretty happy with it. So that's kind of Pulque right there.
Right.
But here's the good news. Like, it was wiped out by macro beer in 1930s.
Wiped out by the Mexican lager.
But it's having a little bit of a revival.
Coming back.
Yeah, like it's like a craft pulqueria is popping up
Right.
in central Mexico.
You
Like,
know, I made some of this
did you?
a long time ago.
Oh my God.
No. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I didn't make some of it. A neighbor of mine made it.
Made some pulque?
Yeah, and brought it in.
How'd you like it?
I liked it a little bit. I didn't drink it all, and it was very it wasn't like we're talking about. It's really weird. It was like made from agave of some sort of thing. It was really thick, kind of, and it would settle out.
Oh,
and
interesting.
And it would settle, and it would be like a cake at the bottom, and then you'd
Swirl
shake
that
it back up and
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
drink it. Very kind of. Not chalky, but kind of like dry, whatever was in that.
That's what I like.
don't know
It's
what
like,
was.
you know,
Somebody
kind of
made
like
it. They didn't tell me how
like
they made
almost
it.
like grit kind of
Yeah,
like feel to it.
yeah.
Yeah. I've heard that. I'm so disappointed I couldn't find any. But again, I was in the wrong area. But,
this was special made
but
by,
it is
by my neighbor.
It is having a little bit of a moment.
That's cool,
There's
yeah.
Mexico. There's like a
Craft
whole like
pulquerias?
slow food movement, like bring back and the
right.
kind of like ancient native culture, like
Yeah,
bringing some of that
yeah.
back into
Bring the
the
pulque
forefront.
back in and-
Not so much Spanish influence, but what were the Aztecs? What were the Mayans doing?
Right.
What were the Olmecs doing? What were we doing?
And
back
these
then?
little farm to table restaurants can really expand with
Yeah.
their drinks and serve
I'm
some
really
of this.
excited to go to Mexico City and eat a lot of al pastor tacos, but also like see some of this coolness that's happening.
Go to
in-
Guadalupe Valley. That's just south of San Diego.
Yeah.
I mean, it's obtainable. It's attainable. You
Get
can
there.
you can even go stay in San Diego, then go rent like one night in a hotel in Guadalupe Valley. It's agricultural valley. They grow
very
wine.
cool.
They do all kinds of stuff.
That
It's
sounds
really
fun.
Cool.
So
Farm
yeah,
to
I'm
table
excited to see
restaurants
this
all
like
over.
slow food movement, the sustainability kind of stuff grow up in Mexico. That's really
I
really
would
fucking
like to see
exciting.
it here.
Yeah, I do too. I I've been taking my Spanish classes. So
Do we know what that would
So I can,
fall
like, kinda
under? That would
gauge some
fall.
more
Would
of
that
that.
fall under a beer and a beer license or a cider license?
I wonder about that. Like,
it
where
wouldn't be a
would they?
wine license, I don't
because
think.
agave, it's not a fruit, so it's not a wine or cider. But it's not barley.
It's not
so it's
from
not
a grass.
beer, right?
Right.
What
It's
there-
a fermentable beverage similar to kombucha. Mm-hmm. So what's kombucha?
but it's
made
alcohol. So like what do we do?
From? Kombucha can have alcohol in it too.
I wonder, like, I want, you would probably need I wonder if like the distillers, because there are a couple of Texas distilleries making a mezcal, because agave doesn't give a shit about an imaginary line on
Right.
the other side of the fucking river,
Right.
kind of thing. So it'll be very interesting. I don't know what kind of license you would need to make pulque.
Hey, didn't we just talk about that on Beer News today?
Oh man, that's right.
Yeah.
Come
all
on.
right.
Good
cool.
catch. Good catch.
Yeah,
Good
yeah,
catch.
yeah.
Good
All
catch.
right. So, what's next here?
Oh man, so
What do we have coming?
we got something cool coming up. Our most popular episode was our interview with the Kavike Yeastery.
Kavike guys. Oh yeah.
Well,
they
I've
were
got
cool.
something lined
Our
up.
Norwegian
I got something
friends.
lined up even cooler.
Whoa.
When I was down there, I mentioned the agave experience in Los Cabos. Well, I'm talking with the owner. I was so thrilled. I was so enamored with the store, like this little tasting room, really gorgeous store. And The experience was amazing. All of the tequila was amazing. And Rosemary's passion about agave and tequila culture in Mexico, like
Now,
and expanding that knowledge base.
Did they serve a bunch of different tequilas? Or
We drank-
Did they
I
make?
drank
Did they
not-
make any? Okay, get there.
I drank 9 different tequilas, 7 or 8 different mezcals with interesting pairings, and got history and all sorts of education. Rosemary is so great. She's going to come on the show. We're going to do a
Okay.
video segment here in the near
nice.
future. We're going to have a whole episode with her, and I'm going to bring some of my tequila collection in so we can
All right.
share and talk about it. You mentioned you were asking whether they make any tequilas. They don't, but they have a line of tequilas that is made especially for their store. A local farmer was going under, and she had Rosemary had the opportunity to buy the farm, but rather than buying the farm, she propped the farm up and let them maintain their family farm, and they make her a unique line of tequila or mezcals just for her store, and
Nice.
and it's a really good, like, she is supporting her community,
Right.
so I can't wait to tell more of that
Supporting the
story.
history.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So we're gonna do that in the upcoming weeks.
This sounds amazing.
I'm really excited about it. Rosemary's really excited about it.
Okay.
I wish we could just take you all down to Los Cabos and we could sit in her store and drink tequila all day. 'Cause
Why don't
with
we?
the bucket A.
Why don't we do an episode down there?
Sounds fine to me. I don't
do
need
it.
I don't need a good excuse to go to Mexico. Any shitty one will do.
Hey, my
I'm there.
laptop packs up.
That's right.
Just
that's right.
fine.
I'm TSA
Mic-
pre-check, man.
Microphones
That's pretty cool.
and headphones right in the case.
But that's coming up in the very near future. Keep an eye out for that as we're going along. I will keep everybody posted, like, when that's coming, because I'm stupidly excited about that episode,
gonna
and
be
you
fun.
should be too. In the meantime, go get yourself a Mexi Lager kit at Northwest Brewer Supply. It's pronounced Padilla. Ought to be a new favorite in your life.
Padilla.
Padilla. All right. Well, that's it for the show today. Thanks
I
for all
love
for
it.
joining us. Andrew, it's good to see you again.
Freaking love this stuff.
Cheers,
Man,
man.
I'm gonna be sad that we're only gonna do this once a week, and we're gonna have to come up with some specialty shows to feed our audience.
There you go.
I'm
We'll
serious.
do something. We'll do
I
something
think
cool.
we can
I
figure
think we'll
something
do
out.
something cool.
But
Yeah.
we won't see you until 2 weeks from now.
2 weeks from now, we'll be back on the air with another episode of The Beer Craft.
Oh yeah.
Cheers.
Thanks everybody.